just like, take care of my kids for 3 hours. And then she came up one time and grabbed the video game. She was like, "Why does this say it has blood language on it?"
Okay, we should be
She was reading
streaming.
the list of like blood
I'll be back.
language. So she thought it was blood language. Rated M for blood language.
What was the game?
Blood Rain. The vampire girl. There's a lot of blood language going on there.
Yeah, I remember the first time. I think it was PS2. Was the original GTA on PS2?
It was on PS1.
was
The
on
London, and then they had the Austin Powers one.
Oh yeah.
And then Rockstar made an Austin Powers game.
Yeah.
But then they had GTA 1 where you could run up and punch Sikhs on the street. There was like a Sikh cult or
Yeah.
whatever. It was not the Sikhs. It was called something else.
Right.
They've always had a cult.
Yeah.
But that was the first game where you could walk around and just slap anybody on the road.
Yeah.
Even from bird's eye, it was awesome.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. You just slap anybody. Because before that, they did Lemmings.
Oh.
So that was the tech demo for slapping people on the street randomly. It was being a lemming.
I mean, got to start somewhere, I guess.
Yeah, and now GTA 6 looks like Miami. Looks better than the real Miami.
Dude, I know it's crazy.
I can't wait. I wish I could go into a coffin like a vampire until it comes out. For the guy from Witcher. Is it 2025 yet? Then fuck off. So we had a video get a content strike on TikTok today because I was saying that the AI that goes through our show and removes stuff should be smart enough that I can use it to go through Pornhub and get rid of all the dicks.
Yeah.
Because I see a pretty girl with nice boobs and then it pans down and I'm like, I didn't sign up for this.
Right.
Why am I looking at a dick now?
Right.
It's too late. I already have a boner from the boobs.
Yeah.
Now I'm gay.
Yeah.
What the fuck,
Yeah.
Pornhub? Thanks a lot.
No, I'm gay. Yeah. This is my whole theory about this is like this is how people get into like really fucked up shit. Like you're watching some normal porn where like some dude's like jerking off a horse or something like that.
It's just a Tuesday.
Just like just some normal shit, and then like a midget comes out with a stump, and you're like, "Well, I'm already going for
Yeah.
the
It's
horse."
too late now.
It's like, oh well, okay.
That happened one time. My wife was trying to get me not to bust, and she was like, "Think about your grandma," and I busted while she was saying that. So that just went permanent, like a core memory.
Yeah,
like
done.
that's there
Done.
forever
Yeah,
now.
you got.
Then
yeah.
my grandma died, so I was like, okay, at least she's gone.
Yeah.
I don't
was
have
the
to
best
worry
day
about
of my
the
life.
Real person. Please leave this plane of existence. I can't have you here anymore.
Oh man, this. Oh.
But yeah, Donnie has the same problem on the dating apps. He can't filter it out and say, I don't want to date anyone that has a penis, please.
Right.
Because then you're being phobic.
Right.
So old people just have to go to bars and meet each other in real life, I think,
Yeah.
to be safe.
Right.
And then you got to do the Crocodile Dundee and check. That ain't no Joey. That's a Sheila. That's how you find out, Donnie. You can't use the dating apps. You got to go real life and grab girls by the crotch and see if they have balls or not. But yeah, they removed that. We were talking about that, and they removed it on TikTok for hate speech.
Wait, which one was it? Was it the fact that you can't not see that on Tinder?
No, the Pornhub bit went into you talking about the dating apps.
Oh, okay.
So it was all within 1 minute. I'm trying to keep the videos at 1 minute because then they don't monetize.
Yeah, right.
But then some of the jokes go stale. So we have to
Yeah.
get better at stand-up comedy where we know exactly how long a minute is up here while
right.
you're talking
Yeah.
about something funny.
Just for any listener, we are streaming. It's almost 2024. We're here with Chris Antonis. That's how you say it, right?
It's close enough.
Yeah.
Are you trying to do stand-up or make a name for yourself, or do you want to be anonymous?
Well,
You
it's
know,
not now.
Yeah.
We cut the beginning off.
Anonymity not happening.
Yeah, we got all the shit talking about our wives out of the way already, so we're
Yeah.
not going to get into that.
Yeah.
either.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, at some point in time, I was like very on top of trying to like get my name out there.
Yeah.
And even in recent times where I've done stand up, like I've only done stand up twice in the last 2 years, and both times I used my full name. So
Yeah.
I'm not opposed to it.
Yeah. There's stuff out there. There's recordings of me saying really things you can't say now on six because I don't know, me and Josh were doing open mic, or he ran the wide open mic, and I did it in like 2011, 2012. Nobody cared if you said some certain things then or broached certain subjects or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Now I'm like, I would not do that. And it's not even like, oh, everything's so woke or whatever.
Yeah,
it's like, it made me look really bad.
Yeah, right.
But luckily, there's not a lot of people combing through old open mic recordings for
No,
people. So
Yeah, I thought about it a little bit because me and my buddy did this video for this comedy contest in like 2004.
yeah,
And it was called Mantage, and it was about like I don't even remember what the subject of the video contest was, but like the whole premise, me and him were gay dudes, and I was like doing my nails, and he came in and he was like really upset, and he's like, I was at the club, and they told me I can't dance, and then it goes to my face, and it was like, nobody tells my bitch she can't dance. And then it like we did like Walking in the Moonlight or something. There was like
Yeah.
this montage of us like.
Was that here in town or somewhere?
Oh, it was in Southern California.
Okay.
And this
Oh, yeah,
whole
you guys used to go to the store all the time, right?
we did the Laugh Factory
Yeah.
in L.A. We never did
right.
the
It was right down the road.
It
from
was
the store.
right
Yeah.
on the same. Yeah.
Yeah.
exactly.
Sunset, down
Yeah,
Sunset.
on
Yeah,
Sunset.
I've been to the store. Still, I mean, as of a couple years ago when I went, still pay $25 and you see 15 like
Yeah.
people who like
Yeah.
people who are at least B-list, if not better. Like Bill Burr popped in, did 15 minutes right to my face, yelled at my friend for texting while he was talking. It was great.
Dude. Yeah.
First time I saw Jeff Ross was there.
Oh man.
We just saw him at Camp City.
Yeah. Yeah, we did a bunch of like small venues out there, open mics and comedy competitions and shit like that. But the point about Mantage is that like I watch it now and I'm like, I can't believe
Yeah.
that I said
Can't believe I was wearing that shirt. What a bitch.
nobody tells my bitch she can't dance.
So welcome to the God Awful Gospel Hour, Chris.
yeah, thank
This is the only in the world responsibly sourced podcast. All of our jokes are free range, just like the
Organic.
girls on Pornhub.
Are we gonna do land acknowledgments?
Yeah, was Mexico once, and it will be again soon.
Yeah.
Pornhub got in trouble recently for they did a land acknowledgement. Basically, they were like, we can't deny that we have profited from some sex trafficking. So I guess they're trying to get ahead of something that's happening because every porn site, they're all aggregates, so they're gonna get something that was trafficked at some point.
Well, they had to remove a whole lot of stuff. There was a big thing. What was it? I think it was Girls Do Porn. There was, I don't know if there was underage or if there was like some kind of traffic type stuff or whatever, but it was it was in like all the headlines for a while. All the major sites had to start really cracking down on just not letting anybody upload anything. It was pretty big.
Well, if you ask a girl to come to your room and she says no a couple times and then says yes, and she comes to your room, you've now sex trafficked her into your room.
Right.
So the definition is becoming blurry because of everyone's accusing everybody of the R word all the time.
Yeah.
Of being retarded.
My kids told me the other day that I can actually say retarded since I am one.
You got to do your own land acknowledgement in the house. This is a retard house.
It's a retard house. Yeah. So when you-
I had to bring up it was a come down joke. Nick Mullen said, I guess at one point he was doing he was kind of doing a voice like this, and one of the guys was like, is that your Down syndrome guy? He's like, no, it's my deaf guy. Deaf and Down syndrome kind of have the same accent. It's
Yeah.
like
code
Philly
switching.
and Baltimore.
yeah, exactly.
You have to be one of them to be able to tell. So I had to tell my sister-in-law who's from Philadelphia that. She thought it was funny.
But we used to, remember when cell phones came out, everybody was like, they're in our privacy and they're watching us. Yeah. And it was like, when the early cell phones, I was like, I only use it when I'm taking a shit. So they're going to hear me take a shit.
Yeah.
So what are they going to have, a whole folder of my shit sounds?
Right.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And now, you only use your phone mostly to jerk off. So they're going to get your O face. They've got a whole folder of everybody's. They already heard me pooping. Now they're going to see me coming. They're going to put the folders together in the same file of facts and the same Rolodex.
I'd love to know what the AI looks like for all of that. Like
Yeah.
how they like do the classifications.
That's
like,
what makes the werewolf with the mustache bite his lip weird. It's because my O face and shitting sounds from
dude,
2010.
all of the samples that they've got are just this training data is way off.
Josh has been using. Is it the Adobe AI that you're using?
Started with that one, but they have too much copyright shit.
Oh,
I couldn't
okay.
put retarded Jedi in there.
Yeah.
So I found a Chinese one that lets me say whatever I want.
Yeah, but it
That's
feels
where free
like
speech exists now.
I was telling him
China.
it feels like there's a little bit of DEI post processing because whenever any subject, it's never a white person that shows up. It's like, oh yeah, a guy jumping his bike. It's a black guy, or it's a Hispanic guy, or whatever. There feels like there's a little bit of that messing with it after the fact.
Yeah.
With the
specify.
like putting blacklists on the training data.
Yeah,
You're not supposed to say blacklist anymore. You're supposed to say deny list. I think now.
It's
Yeah,
Kathleen
something.
Kennedy. She's in the AI.
Yeah.
Telling everything to be gay.
make it lame and gay. Yeah.
We were dropping my kid off at school the other day. And we saw a guy running in socks. She was like, "Is that guy running in socks down Brody?"
Like only socks.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it looked like he was going for a nice jog.
Wait. Not only socks. He was wearing clothes.
Yes.
Oh,
no,
okay.
just no shoes.
No
Yeah,
shoes.
full everything. But it looked like an emergency. Like, why would you run in socks unless something has gone horribly wrong?
Yeah,
Like,
right.
you're obviously going to get your shoes wherever they are.
Right? Yeah. This guy's not part of the new like barefoot running craze.
Nobody runs in socks unless your shoes are way over there somewhere and you need to go get them.
Maybe it's a new TikTok challenge.
Did you guys have Christmas shopping adventures?
My Christmas shopping now is clicking buy now on Amazon. That's all I do is I just buy shit off Amazon for people.
We've just been married for so long. So she does all the shopping for everyone else.
Yeah.
And we've been married so long we don't buy each other. Like
Yeah.
the romance is gone.
Yeah.
There's no like, oh, I'm buying you something.
Every
I'm
day is
thinking about
Valentine's Day.
you,
You're
and-
so in love.
yeah. I thought of the perfect gift for you.
We celebrate each other
Yeah.
every morning. Okay. Bend over the bathroom sink.
Every day is
Me
Christmas.
bent over the bathroom. So just to be clear about that.
Peggy 18.
Yeah.
So I had to do all mine at South Park Meadows last minute. And just because all the stores I needed to go to were all close to each other. I wanted to go to Half Price Books and get a bunch of shit. And something bad happened. I knew I had to go Christmas shopping, but I also knew that I had a shit. And I was at home, and I was like, and everybody was, it was getting weird around the house. If you do stand up and you also live in a house full of wife and kids, you pick up on the energy just like if you're in a shitty room.
Yeah.
Like if the room starts to turn bad, you just make up a task for yourself.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Dad has to go to 7-Eleven.
Right. Yeah.
Because the energy in this room is no good.
Right.
It's always the crowd's fault. And it's never your fault.
It's not me.
Yeah.
It's not me.
Mom controls the vibe. I didn't do this. So I knew I had a shit, but I knew I had to get the fuck out of there too. And so I went to South Park Meadows, which is a fucking nightmare because that's all the roads in there are not real roads.
Right.
So the laws don't apply.
Right.
All the stop signs are fake.
Right.
They're not public anything. It's all
Right.
private. So you can do whatever the hell you want. Cut each other off, whatever. All the lanes that weren't parking were stopped from just people trying to leave or come in.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't get anywhere. So I pulled in and I was like, well, maybe I'll go to Walmart because I got to get some Legos and maybe they're cheaper there or whatever. I get into Walmart. I never go to Walmart. It's a human nightmare. It's just horrifying.
Oh yeah.
It smells weird.
Yeah.
Like I remember when Walmart was the better Kmart. When
Yeah.
Kmart was around and Walmart was better. And then Target came and fucked everybody. But I went in there. I made it to the Legos. The whole Lego aisle was jammed. The prices were the same as everywhere else. I was like, man, I really got to shit. So I went to the Walmart bathroom. It smelled so bad. All the stalls were full. I was like, fuck it, whatever. This comes in waves. I can get to the next place and shit there.
Right.
So I get in the car. I'm going further down South Park Meadows. I'm looking at Texas Roadhouse. Like maybe I can go take a nice crap in the lodge style men's room, They have Playboy magazines on the wall and stuff.
You know that those bathrooms been through the ringer. Like, it's going to be able to handle whatever you're dishing
Yeah,
out.
this is steak boy bathrooms. Have some steak boys in there. But the traffic was so fucked up, I ended up back on the access road of 35 just to escape and be able to go anywhere. And then I had to go bad again, so I pulled back in and just parked like way far away from Best Buy. Then I walked all the way to Best Buy. Usually my whole life, every Best Buy I've ever been to, The bathroom's on the right, past the Think Geek, whatever
Yeah.
thing, the geek store.
Yeah.
And it's nice. It's clean. The employees are in there. It's close.
Right.
This one, the South Park Meadows one, it's all the way in the back down a hallway, like a weird grocery store. I get in there. There's a guy right behind me following me. I know he has to shit, so I'm trying to beat him if there's a stall open. And the handicap stall was open. I was like, tight. I get room. I get leg room.
You stretch.
So I go in there. He goes into the one next to me that's occupied, speaking a foreign language with the other gentleman that's in there.
What?
And they start talking to each other. And then I hear the sound of someone spitting on their hand and speaking Algerian or whatever the fuck. And I was like, so that guy didn't want my stall. He knew that guy was in that other one and he was going to do gay shit or something, some kind of foreign Algerian gay
Yeah.
Saudi Arabian men holding hands. It's not gay shit.
Right.
I don't know. I have no idea what they were doing. Why are you spitting on your hand?
Yeah.
Stop. I mean,
Nothing
that's
good
Brokeback
comes-
Mountain. We all know what spitting on your hand is. So I was so upset and I had a shit so bad. I was like, I'm going to ruin their whole romantic moment right
Oh,
now.
yeah.
I just unloaded like a machine gun.
Dude.
And then all the romance was gone for Christmas. Like, we don't have to buy each other anything.
So did they keep
They
it going?
stopped. No, they stopped because I murdered that room. I killed the energy in the room. It's a bad room.
That's so weird.
Why there? Why the Best Buy bathroom?
Maybe because it was down a long hallway around the corner.
That's something I realized. I actually
When you
did
got to
have to
do
go
Algerian gay shit, you got to do Algerian gay shit.
that's-
Wherever. Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
I no, I did have to. I had to go to the mall. I had to go to the Barton Square, whatever mall,
Creek
Barton
Mall.
Creek
Yeah.
Square Mall,
Yeah.
and
Like 4 shootings there.
yeah,
Yeah.
like 4 days after somebody got shot in front of the movie
Like
theater.
a
You could have been
theater,
killed,
yeah.
Donnie.
Yeah,
you
everyone's
died.
always trying to kill
Are you
me.
okay right now from that?
Yeah, we have a friend who who does those kinds of things.
Sympathies.
So I had to pee really bad after I went to stand in line for 12 minutes at the Lululemon to get a gift card, and that's what I realized is every single mall, if you want to go to the bathroom, you have to go down like a mile of hallway that turns 3 times to get to the restroom. Because that was the mall growing up in Abilene.
Yeah, those are the
We had
rape-
that weird
tunnels.
long hallway. It's like how many people just can't make it, you know?
That's where all the Disney employees fuck each other.
Yeah, right.
They've got
It's
like
backstage.
under
I think that the
tunnels.
Yeah.
like the Simon Mall. It's all Simon Mall.
Yeah, Simon Mall.
Like,
So I'm the only ones who own
Simon.
anything.
I think that Mr. Simon was just like really
Yeah.
into like mazes or some shit. Like those bathrooms are always buried deep within the caverns of the fucking Simon
Right.
Mall.
Yeah, and then you always pass one other dude on the way out.
Yeah.
When you go in and you're like, this is his warmth on the toilet. There was a pervert at Taco Deli at Circle C.
Yeah.
Somebody posted it on Reddit.
Oh.
And I was just there with my parents. I could have been raped. It could have been me. No, this couple put on Reddit, we were at Taco Deli with our 2-year-old daughter, and this man was sitting across from us looking at our daughter. Obviously visually aroused. Visibly aroused. Like, one, why are you checking for boners? Like,
Yeah.
that's his boner is his business.
Right.
He's speaking his truth.
Yeah.
He's living his voice. Why are you trying to silence his
Yeah.
journey?
Yeah, exactly.
And the Taco Deli people were like, that guy's in here all the time. We'll make sure he doesn't come in
There's a
here
homeless
anymore."
guy or something, right?
But it's such victim. Like a 2-year-old, really? How many people think that guys are trying to look at their 2-year-old?
Well, I also
Like,
think
I was in there with my 14-year-old. That's fucked up, but I've never, when I had a 2-year-old, was like, there's rapists looking at my
Right.
kid in
No.
public.
But this is like there's like this new thing with like sex trafficking being like the new war on drugs,
Yeah.
right? Where,
Right.
like, everyone's super turned up about sex trafficking.
Yeah.
Everyone has a story about how their kids
Right.
are being.
I got sex trafficked at Best Buy. I didn't want to be part of that. They forced
true.
me, like Louis C.K., to listen to them jerk each other off.
That's true.
Well, I think that like the trafficking and the grooming and all that, that's the right wing's racist. So, you know, at some point the left or whoever realized that, oh, you call people bigots, call people racist or whatever, and immediately, no, I'm not.
Yeah.
Well, the right wing version of that is okay, groomer.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm not that. No, you know.
If you're a boomer and a groomer, that's double bad.
I think it's called a gooner.
Yeah.
You know what gooning is?
Yeah.
I think that's a new TikTok kid term.
I there's something that I think it is.
Yeah.
It's when you edge so hard you start to fucking hallucinate or something.
Yeah. Something about how do you do with
Forget what's
edging,
real.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean,
It's called Tuesday.
A form of masturbation that involves edging, maintaining sexual arousal without for a long period of time, resulting in a hypnotic trance-like state.
What was the thing my daughter told us about? The period blood?
Oh, it was a vaping,
Vabbing.
vabbing.
She goes, do you know what vabbing is? And we were like, no.
And she's like, she would not tell us.
She said,
She was like, I'm not going to tell you.
It's when girls take their vaginal fluids and put it behind their ears
It's like
to,
pheromones.
to attract the opposite.
Yeah.
So as soon as I looked it up, I went in, I was like, where did you hear about this? I turned into a Christian parent
Yeah.
immediately.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
why do you know about this?
Yeah.
And why now do I have to know about this? Because you made me look it up.
Oh my God. What a fucked up world these kids are growing up in. It's
Yeah,
like-
but then
they can see all the porn everywhere forever.
they're still cute and nice and adorable, and they want to
Yeah.
cuddle on the couch. And my daughter wanted to drive around and look at Christmas lights on Christmas.
that's nice.
We went into the Queenswood, Collinswood neighborhood
Yeah.
because there's wide streets and a lot of live oaks, and I figured people would have their trees wrapped up.
Mm-hmm.
We came up on this house where this family was having the creepiest Christian Christmas dinner you've ever seen in your life. Their front dining room, facing the street, was all painted red walls, like midsummer, kind of, with all white crosses and doilies all over all the walls. And everyone was sitting up straight, perfect posture. I was like, I really want to take a picture, but I know if I get my phone out, they're all going to go,
Yeah. Yeah.
Hi.
It's over. Yeah.
join us.
Yeah.
Play with us forever.
You're going to be the midsummer's maiden now.
Now I know where that house is. I'm going to avoid it next time I take a walk in that neighborhood. I don't want them to get me.
I've worried about this whole like exposure to porn thing. It's like, you know, like I had exposure to porn like the way that I think y'all probably
Everybody
had.
did, yeah.
Yeah, it's like your dad had a magazine
Yeah.
or
a
you
friend
don't
knew
have
had some, yeah.
or you
didn't have one
find
in
some
the woods.
shit in a
Supposed to
bush.
be one in the woods,
Yeah.
in,
Dude.
in a fort.
Yeah, exactly. In the fort,
There's
right?
an old
Yeah.
Johnny Appleseed of porn, old guy leaving porn in the woods.
The legends are true.
Yeah.
The fucking Davy Crockett of porn.
Yeah.
It's like
Thanks, Bigfoot.
got my coonskin hat rolling up in the fort. But yeah, the kids, I mean, they just have so much of it, and it's not.
It's not hidden from them at all.
It's not
Like,
hidden
yeah.
from them, and it's so crazy.
Yeah.
It's like you just go to any of you go to Pornhub or whatever, and it's
There's
like
no hunt. There's no pursuit.
there's no pursuit, and it's like cousin throat fucking.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh wait, no, like I
Cuck,
don't want
cuck,
my
goose.
kid's first exposure to sex being that. So I'm gonna just float
Yeah.
it. Like, can we just make a porno site for kids? Like, can we just like
Kids beat.
kids beat would be perfect. Or just like 70s bush porn or
Yeah.
like just something just very kind of like
Bush League.
bush league.
So, which comedian had that podcast, Dave's Old Porn?
That was David Hill.
David Tell. Was that David Tell? Yeah. Like, it was
That was
Dave
a show.
something. I knew that.
You kids used to tell scary stories about a man in the woods, but then once in a while there's a kid where there's this great man in the woods. It's like the Santa of porn.
Yeah.
There's the one guy that'll shoot you with a salt shotgun. He's got dead bunnies, and if you get near his property, you're gonna get hit. But then in the other woods, there's this Jesus figure. He's the greatest man I've ever known. He puts hustlers under the floorboards of a fort that he's built. He's a really good guy.
Oh man, that guy in my neighborhood, his name was Dale, and he was definitely a pedophile.
Oh, yeah.
He was-
Tell me what you thought about all those porn.
yeah, exactly.
that you were looking at.
They always had this kind of like gay thing, about, it, but they had tons of like chick porn because they knew that that's what.
Yeah, that's how
dudes
you get them.
want to see.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Have you seen?
Old
Have you,
bait and switch.
Have you seen the Lovely Bones?
Oh yeah.
Like whenever
Oh,
he's like,
God.
"Oh, I built this little place
God.
for you and your friends to hang out at if you want to." You know,
the
it's
old
just,
master bait and switch.
The old master-
Donnie had a youth group leader that was a pedo, but he never
my
came
God.
on to Donnie, so Donnie's insulted. Why
Yeah,
did
it's
he-
like, there's an episode
I
of
not
Sunny in
handsome enough?
Philadelphia about that. Yeah.
I have a song that I wrote in 2006 called "What About Me," and it was about how I was a
It's the opposite of hashtag me too.
Yeah.
Hashtag why not me too?
yeah, I was an altar boy in Boy Scouts. I was active. I hung out after NAMBLA meetings, hoping
Yeah.
girls would find me attractive. It's like
Yeah.
This would be a good dice bit. How come those motherfuckers wanted to fuck me? Huh?
Yeah.
hey,
Hey,
bada bing.
what's wrong with my ace?
Yeah. No, dude, I had like this guy babysat me and my brother, and he was like a huge. This is so you remember in like the early '90s before like the prequels and the special editions, whenever Star Wars was like the Lost Legends, you know, and like everybody was obsessed with it. They weren't making the toys anymore and all that. So this guy was like really, really into Star Wars, and so we just thought he was the coolest. Like we loved talking to him about Star Wars all the time, and he was like the youth intern at our church, and you know, like he like a couple times like he like babysat me and my brother. Not, of course, nothing happened, but then later on we found out that like he had like he Michael Jacksoned a couple kids. He had like a couple like big brother,
invited them
big
over
sister
for a
type
lovely afternoon of
situation.
roller coaster rides. What's his problem? Sorry, that I have an awesome house with cool shit. Did you not want to see a giraffe when you're 4?
Yeah.
Dude.
To pet it?
Oh. And so he ended up fine, and then he got arrested for it finally. The day the trial was supposed to start, he disappeared, and he hid out in Mexico for like 5 years. Right in the middle of COVID, they caught him. They brought him back, and he got sentenced to 99 years in prison.
Oh,
Yeah, so he's gone.
that's good.
Yeah. So it's like I guess that stuff was around. Like I had no concept of it, you know, back then.
We had a
when I was, like,
babysitter that made us change in front of her. But that was what my sister said. I was too young to remember it. She brought over all the Mr. books. Remember Mr. Chatterbox?
Oh, yeah.
The little square books.
Yeah.
I loved her. She was great.
Yeah.
She taught us how to make tissue
loved you
paper.
too, by the way.
Yeah, we loved each other. It was fine. It was
Yeah.
consensual. I was an adult in my mind. I was able to say yes. No. For some reason, I guess at one point she told us it was time for bed. And my sister was like, no, we don't have to go to bed until 9. And it was 8. And she was like, get changed into your PJs now. And my sister turned into this, like, she made us change in front of her. And it was like, I don't remember that happening. I think she just told us it was bedtime and my sister disagreed with her. So it got conflated into a hashtag Me Too shit.
Yeah. It's
So
like,
that
I don't
lady
like
never-
the way this went down. This person's obviously a predator.
So she
Like,
never came over anymore. And I was like, you fucked up my Mr. books.
Yeah.
I was trying to read about Mr. Smiles.
Thanks a lot. I since we're telling molestation stories, I had
Best of.
I went to a Catholic school, and the Monsignor, who was the principal, was like, you know, the most loved guy. He like always had the football team over to his house to spend the night and all this shit. And I had a buddy who got
Normal stuff.
just all the normal stuff. The whole football team's like spending the night at your house as a single man. And
Fullback.
he
Tight end.
he got wind that I had a friend who got killed in an accident, and so he's like, he had me come to his office.
Are you okay? Yeah.
For 2 full days, I sat in this guy's office, and
If you need a penis to cry, shoulder to cry on.
and he worked all this magic. Gave me all these cokes, and he would like rub my back.
Oh,
and
hell yeah.
Tell me what happened.
Oh, wow.
Tell me about your feelings, and then nothing came of it.
Yeah.
And then about a month after that, he got nabbed.
Oh,
he
so
was-
he got somebody else. Yeah.
Oh no, he got like tens of kids over 20 years.
Yeah. Wow.
That's how we know we're straight, because we had creepy half-gay shit happen when we were little that traumatized us. And we're like, nope, I don't like that.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
don't like that very much at all.
Exactly.
I went on a cruise, and there was another 9-year-old boy on the cruise. We were going to the Bahamas. I was 9. My parents were like, that boy's 9. Go hang out with him.
Yeah.
Everywhere we went on the boat, he wanted to sit like really close to me. I was like, you don't have to. There's a whole bench here. Why are you next to me?
Right.
We can just hang out. And then eventually I was like, you go to the bow, I'll go to the stern.
Yeah.
We don't need to be near each other anymore. I don't like this closeness.
When I listened to your last one, the Kojak.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was great.
Kojak Hills.
By the way. Yeah, Kojak Hills. Yeah, it was really funny. You reminded me of. I loved the homophobic bit. How you're homophobic because you're scared of the dude who
I
was.
put pictures of him on the YouTube.
Oh, you did?
episode.
Oh, shit,
yeah,
I
because
have
he
to
still
see
has the
that.
cheese company.
I have to say, oh yeah, that's right.
I found
you
it.
you found the
Yeah.
guy that you were
Yeah,
homophobic because you were
Cristiano
afraid of him.
Prado. I still talk to him on Facebook. My kids like cheesy poofs.
How scared were you really?
I mean, yeah, because I was on Molly and I was watching my favorite band. It was double bad trauma because 3 of my favorite things were happening.
Right.
And then my least favorite thing was also happening
Right.
at the same time.
Being-
Like I was with my best friends in the world,
yeah.
watching my favorite band in the world, on one of my favorite drugs in the world, top 5 of my favorite
Yeah.
drugs in the world. And then I had just seen, Primal Scream was before Jesus and Mary Chain, and then like Black Rebel was after.
Yeah.
So it was just like somebody read my high school Trapper Keeper of all the bands I put on there in
they're like, this is the
1991.
set list, yeah.
Because I didn't do grunge in high school. I just went to England with everything.
Oh, yeah.
I just listened to the Stone Roses and everything. I was like, I don't want to be sad and wear flannel. I'm gonna get trip hop.
Right.
So yeah, it soured it because he was ruining what could have been like one of the greatest nights of my life.
Right.
With his weird boner.
With his
So my wife got asked if she was Jewish by a small black child
Right.
ooh.
because she speaks Spanish. So for some reason, black children think that white women who speak Spanish are Jewish. Thanks, hashtag
This is-
me too.
this is like-
this has come full circle.
This
This
is
pot has eaten
the
itself.
layer of onions of stereotypes because the black child thought that your wife was Jewish for speaking Spanish.
Yeah.
So now you think all black children think that Spanish speakers are Jewish.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
We have to add another layer onto that. We have to incept more racism.
Yeah, you're a Chinese retarded midget because you like football. Wow, how does it even work? We were talking with Kojak about drugs that sound like rappers, but I didn't have my examples. There's one called Skyreezy.
Oh,
Is that a
Skyreezy.
rapper or is that a drug?
That's a drug.
These are all drugs.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
Skyreezy. Yeah.
Safanello
That
and Zolair. XOLAIR.
oh, that's definitely that's like an indie hip hop, like
This is
one
like
of those
early 2000s.
like, non-binary
Young Jeezy type,
female
like-
rapper, like Zola Jesus or whatever.
Yeah,
that
Lil
was.
Skyreezy, Big Safanello,
Yeah.
and Zolair Cat.
Man.
Did you watch the Sam Talent special?
No.
The new one?
No.
He's
That is
great.
the Toad. What's it called? The
Toad's Morale.
The Toad's Morale.
No, I don't know about
It's on. So he's friends with the Shane Gillis people.
it.
So they put they put his special on their YouTube, and it's doing great
Oh.
because of his
Nice.
platform. They get
Nice.
so many views. But he's almost got my dream comedy style of like Mitch Hedberg mixed with Tracy Morgan,
Yeah.
like nonsensical, trippy one-liners
Yeah.
where like it
Yeah.
only makes sense if you're in a certain mood.
Right.
But yeah, you should check it out. I'll send you the link.
I really, really love the kind of like cerebral one-liner thing.
Yeah.
And I tried it once, and like I just fucking failed miserably. Like it's like I'm just more of a storyteller, and so me going up there and trying to work out these, I don't know, just these one-liners that speak to some kind of other experience.
Yeah.
Like
You want to hear my two best ones?
yeah.
I went out with a girl with a 1-inch vaginal cavity. I had to break up with her because I don't like shallow chicks. And you remember the Aurora shooting?
Oh yeah.
Everybody, Christian Bale went and visited the survivors
Yeah.
afterwards, and then all the not survivors got to go visit Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was an instant too soon. Like it was the week it happened is whenever he said that one.
I think that's the most appropriate time to say it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
You got to be topical.
like Gilbert Godfrey
With the
with
9/11
with the,
shit.
with the layover at the Empire State Building.
Yeah, yeah.
My new one is my body's like the pride flag. Every couple of years, it just gets uglier and uglier.
Yeah.
Those ugly ass colors,
This is
like
a new
the
color.
Clash colors. Yeah,
Why is my leg beige
Yeah.
now? It happened to me. Is this a new kind of diabetes?
yeah.
My kid asked for, we went to, in the middle of the night, we were at Adrian's,
Oh yeah.
and we ran out of smokes. So we walked to Bread Basket right here.
Oh yeah.
But we stopped by the house to grab my wallet, and my kid was up playing PS5, and I was like, "Do you want something from the store?" And he was like, "Yeah, buttery popcorn, buttery salty popcorn." But we were drunk, so I got him flaming red hot smart food, and I brought it home. Which
that?
it's like the Cheetos,
Oh, smart
it's
food.
smart
Oh
food.
yeah.
so it was popcorn, and it was salty.
Yeah. In like a bag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I didn't know they had. And he eats the flaming red hot Cheetos, but something about the salt and the oils of popcorn made it like worse.
Yeah.
So he started texting me while we were at Adrian's. The world is pain. Why, Daddy, Father? Why have you done this to me?
Father, why?
Death
Why
is
have you-
approaching. I'm too busy dying. The world is pain. I sent him the Ohio flares. Fire. We were just sending back "You're on fire" memes. Why have you done this to me? So I was like, well, don't ask me to get you anything from the store. That's how you get out of stuff.
It's better that. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. like I unloaded the dishwasher shitty like when we were first married, so I never had to unload
Yeah.
the dishwasher.
Yeah.
Again.
There's got to be a better joke about that.
Oh yeah.
You eat pussy so bad that you never have to go down on your wife again. You're like licking her leg. I'm doing good, right?
This is right.
You like it? You fucked up the eating pussy so bad that you never had to do it again.
But I use my teeth when I eat everything else.
All right, you want to take a break? We got nerd news up next. I guess we can't break. We're streaming.
Yeah, we're streaming, so we're
Let's
just
grab
here.
2 beers.
Yeah. Just gonna grab some more drinks.
Nice.
Yeah, I didn't realize this was going on. This is kind of a big deal. My family's all sports, so
All right,
we're watching the Cowboys. Yeah,
You're a
yeah.
Cowboys fan,
I'm
yeah.
from West Texas. It's like mandatory. We have to be Cowboys
Oh,
fans.
thanks, man.
The ones who aren't are weird.
Oh yeah. Where West Texas?
Abilene.
Oh, Abilene.
Yeah. Yes, it goes along very well with the getting molested at church.
Yeah.
That's very. Well, we always used to say we had the more churches per capita than any city and blah blah blah. But I
Everything
think that's
goes well
every
with getting
town in the
molested at
Bible
church.
Belt says
Right,
that. Like
right.
every single one's like, oh, but we did have a lot of churches.
Dude, I'm from Southern California, and there are a fuck ton of evangelical churches in Orange County.
Oh yeah, Orange County is like the Republican
Yeah.
stronghold of California. I in-laws lived there. I think the first time I ever actually went to California that wasn't just driving out to go to Coachella was going to Orange County. We hung out and we stayed in San Clemente, and my brother and his wife got married in Dana Point because that's
Yeah,
where
I
her
got married in Dana
parents
Point.
live. Really?
Yeah.
And on the pier, what was the boat club? I don't know. I can't remember where exactly it was.
Well, there's like the Ocean Institute, and there's the big boat, the tall ship with
Yeah.
the, like
Yeah, I can't remember what the name. It was a thing. It was a venue that like is very famous for weddings on like pier, something piers and all that. But yeah, so we hung out in Orange County a lot, and I was reading like their little local weekly news things, and I was like, oh, these are Republicans. You think of everybody thinks of California is like, oh, it's Gavin Newsom, it's Democrats. I'm like, no, that's like L.A. and San Francisco, and
Huntington Beach is
everything
famous for
directly
being,
outside. Yeah.
Isn't Huntington Beach really Christian
Huntington
now or
Beach
something?
has like a long legacy of like skinheads.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Nazi shit.
All I knew about it was from Thrasher magazine about Chad Muska going down there and scamming girls out of their vacation money by hooking up with them at their hotels. Great Riku's rectum, Donnie. It's nerd news time. Every nerd news is a woman from Final Fantasy and a piece of bodily. We got to keep coming up with more. We got to go through the whole alphabet. I'm gonna get a spreadsheet for the next year. So Monkey See, Monkey Do. You know where that is? The store on Congress. It's got a bunch of toys.
It's like one of those goofy toy stores where
Yeah.
it's not like action figures and stuff, but it's like educational toys.
The back is all action figures.
Oh, okay.
Now. You got to enter through the rear, Donnie.
Uh-huh.
It's also
Like
kind of
you
like offbeat. It's like offbeat action figures, right? Like
Yeah, they've got the collector, the Pete Fowler kind of super furry animals type, the
Yeah.
ones in the mystery boxes and all the
Yep.
Japanese shit.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
we went there Christmas shopping. Have you been down to South Congress recently?
Oh yeah.
So everything back where Doc's Motorworks was, like the closer to the river on the east
Oh
side,
yeah.
is completely different. There's a maze of stairs and hotels and hanging garden restaurants, and
I
it doesn't
haven't
look.
been there.
Yeah, I used to drive around there in my sign truck for the it was
Dude,
blocks
look
of
at Kid and play.
residential.
Look at Kid.
Oh no!
Look at that. Look at
Oh
that.
shit.
He looks like
Play
Jim
too
Norton.
much. You play too much. He looks like a thumb, like Joe Rogan.
Yeah. God.
What does he smoke cigars? Kid is fine.
Yeah. It's
Play is all fucked up.
look.
Did you see the hedge? The hedge was like a.
They can't do.
No,
the,
it was his old hair.
It was
yeah.
his old hair. Yeah, that was
they
pretty
can't do the
dope. I like
kicking
that.
each other's foot dance anymore because they have
Yeah.
bad hips.
Right.
There's only one hip in hip hop now. So the back of Monkey See, Monkey Do has Black Series figures half off, which are usually like $29.
Oh, really?
They're
Are there any of the Empire Strikes Back bounty hunters? Because those are the ones I want. Those are the only ones.
Let's go.
Yeah,
Let's go Wednesday.
Totally. We will
Okay.
totally go.
They've got Bill Burr.
Oh, they got Miggs
Yeah.
Mayfield.
Well,
Yeah.
it's the one from the third season where he's got the helmet on.
Oh, did he come back for the third season?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't watch the
There
third
was a
season of The
second season.
Mandalorian.
No, it was the second season.
Yeah.
Whenever he had the helmet
yeah,
on
whenever
for
he,
half
he
of it.
shoots the dude and
Yeah, that was the prison ship. That was season 1.
no, yeah, season 1 was a prison ship, but season 2 is
Season two
whenever
was
he
the-
kills the guy
the
for
heist.
pissing him off because he
Yeah.
triggers his PTSD
Yeah.
or whatever.
I don't know what the fuck you guys are talking.
Okay,
You watch
so
The Mandalorian?
the Star Wars TV show.
I feel like you can. This is
What kind of Mandalorian are you?
This could turn into like an hour roast about the shit that I haven't seen, and I have
Yeah.
not. I haven't,
Okay.
haven't seen any of it.
You're
Well,
probably
the
better for it.
the first season of The Mandalorian is really good. The second season is good until you think about it for a little bit. But the best episode of the second, well, so Bill Burr shows up as kind of a bounty hunter, not really a bounty hunter, but like a guy, the kind of guy you hire for a job.
Yeah.
You know.
The Hitman.
And in the first, and he's good in the first season, but the second season, like he has some real character. He's in a whole episode. It's kind of all about him, and he has some really good character moments. But I don't think he showed up in the third season, did he? So the third season got all Dave Filoni.
Similar to his role in Breaking Bad. Do you remember that? And, like,
yeah.
No, Bill Burr's my favorite comedian because you can be old and do stand up and end up in Star Wars somehow.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
model.
Yeah.
That's my COVID model of what might
man.
work for my life.
Yeah.
But yeah, it comes the version they have at Monkey See Monkey Do. They're all $15, and it's got the helmet on. So I'm gonna have to unbox it to take the helmet off, even though that head sculpt is really bad. Barely looks like Bill Burr. But
Yeah.
I have a Bill Burr shrine in my bathroom. I have a napkin signed by him that says, "Josh, go fuck yourself, Bill Burr," and then a poster from The Mandalorian with him on it, just to remind me that making dick jokes can get you into Star Wars
Yeah.
eventually. If you play your cards right.
There's hope for me yet.
We started rewatching Lost at the house.
Oh yeah.
Have you watched Lost recently?
I have not watched Lost since it aired.
Sawyer is so racist against Saeed. It's
Oh yeah,
hilarious.
he's like
Yeah.
he's immediately blaming him for the plane
He calls
crashing.
him like Captain Tabbouleh
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Mr. Hummus and,
Yeah.
and Jihadi John and all this
Yeah.
shit
Oh,
the whole
yeah.
time.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
get this bunch of shit you can't get away with now, but it's hilarious. I mean, it's part of him being a villain, you know, a hillbilly villain.
Yeah, start
Time.
like by making him look like the asshole
Yeah.
to begin with. Yeah.
Did
But-
you watch it with your kids before? Or is this their first time watching
This is their
it?
first time, yeah.
What do they think?
They kind of like it. I mean, they you know, they'd rather interact with the screens. They
Yeah.
don't like watching shit.
They're
They
like,
don't have
this,
the patience to watch.
it's
shit.
too long for them.
My kid will watch Invincible, the cartoon. He'll stick around through all that. But anything that has a video game character,
Yeah.
we watched all of RoboCop because we started playing RoboCop, and we got Omni-Man in Mortal Kombat, so we watched all of Invincible. If he has a PlayStation 5 reference, like we'll watch the
do it.
D&D thing because he plays Baldur's Gate.
All right.
So you have to anchor it somehow to the PlayStation universe for it to be valid.
Yeah.
That's some tricky parenting you got to do there to get them to watch some like good cultural shit.
But yeah, my other big shame is my wife almost didn't marry me because I told her my favorite band was Oasis on our first date because that was my big like high school thing. They're not anymore.
Yeah.
It's not. But when there was no rock and roll, they made rock and roll. When there was no Beatles, they made Beatles music. So
Yeah.
they kind of filled a void at that time. Again, I didn't want to do grunge, so I was like, whatever Britain's doing is fine. I'll just do that.
So we went back and listened to a bunch of grunge with the kids, or we've gone through like all of the genres, and I was listening to like what I considered like grunge, and some of the shit's not really grungy. It's just like straight up rock. Like
Yeah.
I always thought like Pearl Jam was like
Now Pearl Jam is basically classic rock.
it's basically classic
Yeah,
rock. Smashing
yeah. I
thought
Pumpkins.
Pearl
is-
Jam-
Smashing Pumpkins is well, they were the other coast, number one,
yeah.
but also they were like prog rock. I mean, they were what you consider alternative rock.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the real grunge was like Mudhoney
Yeah.
and Tad
Free
and
everything.
maybe early Soundgarden, and then
Even if you listen to some of that early stuff, it sounds more like metal.
They were
Oh,
all
yeah,
trying to
yeah.
cross over.
Yeah.
They were
secretly.
trying to cross. I mean,
Yeah.
like the early Nirvana. I know it's like hyper cliche to call Nirvana out in the grunge thing, but it's like the early Nirvana just sounds like heavy metal.
yeah, it's that well, it's that dooga 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 dooga, a lot of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then he was like, "No, I'm going to write pop songs and become the biggest band in the world for 2.5 years."
Before
But-
Courtney Love killed him.
Yeah, before Courtney Love killed him or had him killed. Yeah.
whatever it was.
Josh did a report on it and talked to the guy who.
Yeah,
who
she had him killed. Courtney Love killing him would involve a woman having done any work at all. So that wouldn't be realistic.
Yeah.
No.
But out of all those albums, though, from that era, I've got to say that the one that has held up the absolute best for me, and I can just listen to it over and over and over, is Siamese Dream.
Oh yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It's
almost psych
so
rock,
good.
though.
Yeah, it's like psych rock, prog rocky.
Yeah.
But it's I
It's
can
also really diverse too. It's
Yeah.
not just that's the thing. It is kind of like prog rock and psych
Yeah.
rock, and then some of it is a little bit grungy and yeah. I mean,
Right.
it's
I thought Pearl Jam was scant jazz because he came out going "Heba dabba dooba dabba dooba."
Here's
What the hell is this bullshit?
Yeah,
Where's
that's
the
that's what
saxophones?
Adam Sandler went out and did all those because he did the Opera Man doing Pearl Jam.
oh yeah.
But we were watching Lost, and it's creepy, and there's like this transcendental, existential vibe.
Yeah.
They spoil the whole show at the beginning. Sawyer goes, "I heard the radio transmission from the French lady. She said they're all dead
Yeah,
on the plane."
yeah. Well, no, that's what all the idiots who didn't pay attention after the season, the whole thing ended.
That's me. Sorry.
They were dead the whole time. They were dead the whole time. You know.
See dead people.
I had a hard time going back and watching it with the kids just because I knew where it was headed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I loved the first couple of seasons of it when it first came out, and then you had some weird episodes, but by and large it was still good. And then you got to the end, and you're like, "Fuck this shit."
The real adventure was the friends we made along the way.
yeah,
Chris.
Yeah.
exactly.
Now I was on the forums. I read all the speculation. I mean, it was a really really fun show to watch week to week, and there was like a whole community behind it and all that.
Yeah.
Uh,
It was kind
But
of like the first time that sort of thing really happened
Yeah.
with the show too, because the internet was
well, like yeah, there was like X Files and there was some of that kind of stuff
Yeah.
before that. But this was like the internet, you know.
I,
But
I hated it because everyone else liked it. But then I got sick, and I got the first 2 seasons DVD from Netflix.
yeah,
And I watched it with my girlfriend at the time that had the exact same taste in music as me. And the whole first season is about Charlie, and he's like, "I'm from Manchester. I hate me brother. I can't stop doing drugs. We're in a fucking band together." And I was like, "This is an Oasis show. I love this show. This is great."
oh man,
They're
Can we just listen to
exactly
You Are
copying
Everybody.
Drive Shaft. is-
you are
dude,
everybody.
You Are Everybody is Rock and Roll Star.
Yeah.
It's the same chords.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From the Definitely Maybe album.
But so my thing is, I was like, for the longest time, I was like, they know what they're doing. Everything's gonna get answered and all that.
Yeah.
And then starting in about season 5, I was like, oh wait a second, no,
Yeah.
that doesn't make sense. Like that contradicts something that was before, like in continuity.
Right.
And then by the time season 6 came around, I was like, they were just making it all up as they went along. Like they weren't really keeping track of everything.
All of
So
Lost
it kind
was
of-
an argument with a woman. It
Right,
ended up
right,
not
yeah.
making sense at the
Yeah.
end, but it brought us closer together having
Right.
the fight. So didn't you enjoy that part? It's your fault for not understanding how upset I was.
Yeah. So I would actually, one of the things I would absolutely love to do is sit down for like an hour or two and talk to Damon Lindelof and Carlton Cuse, the two guys who basically, I mean, everybody says that J.J. Abrams made it, but he only did like he directed the pilot and he kind of helped get it started in the first season,
Right.
but he didn't have anything to do with it. It was those two guys, and say, okay, when did you figure this out? Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you know this
Right,
one? This?
right.
Why is this? What, how did you write this? How did you come up with
But here's
this?
the thing: it will require you to go back and rewatch the
Yeah,
whole thing.
right.
I don't want to have that fight with that woman again.
I-
I already had it once. I
Yeah.
got PTSD. I got puto SD.
I rewatched a lot while it was airing. I would rewatch like entire seasons. I think
yeah.
I rewatched the entire show up before watching the last season.
Yeah.
So I've seen it so many times while it was airing that I still remember everything and every.
That was one of the last shows where we had
Thing that
lost
happened.
parties and everybody
Yeah,
come
we'd
up
have
and
parties.
you had to
yeah.
tune in and
yeah,
show
we'd
up
watch
for
the end of it and all that.
Yeah.
go outside and smoke a cigarette. Everybody go, the commercial's over. Come in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Man.
Well, I don't think there's going to be anything like that. But then the show that was what I guess you'd say what Damon Lindelof wanted to make. He made The Leftovers,
Oh, so
and
fucking
that
good.
one is
That's the Raised by Wolves of Lost.
yeah.
Yeah.
Raised by Wolves is Ridley Scott doing what he wanted to do outside of the Alien franchise.
Yeah.
Just creatively expressing himself.
Mess with
an
robots
unlimited
and all
budget.
that. Yeah.
Right.
Lindelof did that with Leftovers. Which
Yeah.
is Leftovers is my whole religious problem. I don't believe in believing in stuff. It's dumb
Yeah.
to believe in something.
Right.
It's like having a pet peeve that you make it everyone else's problem.
Right.
It's like the cop in Donnie Brasco where he cussed and he was like, "I'm a Mormon, mister. Now clean it up."
Yeah.
Why does he have to clean it up? Because you're a Mormon.
Because you're a
It's your
Mormon,
fucking dumb problem.
Yeah, the Leftovers was great because at the very beginning they're like, "We're not going to answer that. You're not going to get the answer to what happened or whatever." Although at the end they do the thing that they used to do in Lost, where it's like, "Is it this explanation or is it that explanation?" And they do that at the end of Leftovers.
I actually
Leftovers is
don't
like
remember.
arguing with a girl on acid where you know
Yeah.
it doesn't matter the whole time, so it's fine.
Yeah.
We had fun.
Oh, Carrie Coon, they basically tell them that they have a way to put you in a machine that sends you to where all the other people went.
That's right.
And then so she does it. Well, it shows her going into it, and then 20 years later it follows up and she's old and she's back. She's in our world and she meets up with what's his name, Jennifer Aniston's ex-husband, Justin Theroux. And
Can
she
he be
basically
his own person, Donnie, or does he have to be Jennifer Aniston's ex-husband?
I'm taking away his agency.
Yeah, man.
Let him speak his
Yeah.
truth.
It's fine. He's a white male. It's,
Yeah.
do whatever.
So basically, she tells him that, like, yeah, the machine sent me to another version of Earth where the people who disappeared, they're the leftovers, and there's hardly anybody there because there's only like 2% of the population.
right.
And then she basically realized she didn't belong there, so she had them build a machine to send her back. So it's like, is she lying or is she telling the truth? Does it matter? Who cares? That's
Yeah.
the end of the show.
She
You
was
know?
on something recently. The only person that made it out of Lost is Evangeline Lilly. She was on Ant-Man.
Ant-Man
She was
stuff,
on Lord of the
yeah.
Rings.
Yeah.
She took
Yeah,
off.
none of those other people did shit.
Matthew Fox has been good. Have you seen Bone Tomahawk?
No.
Oh, you got to watch that. It's Matthew Fox is in it. He's awesome
Is it
in
a
that
movie?
one. Yeah, it's a movie. The guy who did Bone Tomahawk, then he did Brawl in Cell Block 99, and he did Dragged Across Concrete.
Okay.
Really like brutal, like realistic violence type shows. But Bone Tomahawk is a Western.
Okay.
And Matthew Fox is in it as a total like badass gunslinger
Matthew
guy.
Fox doesn't get work because he's a drunk asshole.
Yeah, he also
Which used to be just Clark Gable Hollywood standard. Everybody's a drunk asshole.
Dominic
Right.
Monaghan said that
can't
he
do that
beats
anymore.
women. So yeah.
How dare you?
Yeah.
But yeah, Sawyer, like I mean, like all those good-looking guys, they haven't. The guy who played Jamie Lannister. What's his name?
Yeah.
Like
Nicholas Coster-Waldau.
yeah,
they all go on to
Coster-Waldau.
do fucked up prison movies.
Yeah, they're never like
Brawl and
huge
Cell Block.
stars afterwards, right?
Yeah.
Saeed didn't do anything, end up anywhere.
I saw the guy who played John Locke in a handful of.
Yeah, Terry
stuff.
O'Quinn. Well, he'd been in some other stuff. He'd been in stuff before.
Yeah.
And then, Ben went off and did Person of Interest with Jim Caviezel.
That was a JJ show.
It feels like one. Yeah. They
He
have
was in another. No, there was another kind of big epic J.J. Abrams show that he was the main character. in.
J.J. Abrams did so good they gave him Star Trek and Star Wars. From
and look what he
Lost.
did with it.
Yeah.
Well, look what he did with Lost. He already fucked up everything
I
once,
know.
and they gave him the keys to the kingdom
Oh yeah.
for trolling people.
He's really good at that mystery box shit. That like, ooh, what's the answer? I don't know.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
It's the journey. It's like that's such bullshit.
Did you get through your whole Lord of the Rings Christmas watch?
I had a Return of the King on before I switched over.
We were just
Cowboy
watching the
gig.
desolation of Smaug at home before I left. It's hard to get through all of them now because they're all 4 hours and there's 6 movies if you count the Hobbit movies. That's 24 hours.
Another thing that I haven't seen
Yeah.
that you could just like take me.
Yeah.
You could just take me to town. and
Bend you over the bathroom
Just-
sink.
It wouldn't be the first time today.
Round 2.
The big joke in my house is that, yeah, like there's definitely violence in this marriage, and it goes again.
Yeah.
Like I'm the victim.
It's
of
the
it.
acceptable violence.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
the acceptable form of
where
violence.
I'm
Yeah.
getting like kicked and shit like that.
Yeah, we get beaten by our kids all the time. We were up late last night. We came home from hanging out and we're going to go back out in our backyard and have another drink, but the kids wanted to wrestle. So I threw them both around the living room. We have 3 couches and a U.
Oh yeah.
And I had a hoodie on, so I was doing like Jackie Chan shit with it, where I was wrapping them up in like the towel. You remember? Those are my favorite Jackie
Oh yeah,
Chan
where he
parts.
like wraps him up in the
where
towel, and then
he
like-
finds a tea towel and
Yeah.
fucks everybody's face up. Like, you just broke that guy's arm with a piece of cloth.
Yeah.
So I just flung my children around until I couldn't breathe and almost died. And then I went to bed.
Yeah, that's the thing about this whole thing at this age. It's like you just play a little bit too rough, and next thing you know, you're fucked up. Like cardiovascular.
My son has $300 glasses on his face, so we have to make sure he takes off the $300 thing off his head before we start tussling.
Before you start fucking.
I got hit in the eyeball and had to tap out. And this morning I woke up like something's weird.
Yeah.
So Mariah Carey is single. So you're saying there's a chance?
Yeah, there's
She broke up with her boyfriend. I was trying to work on a joke with her. You know the old, how do you make a girl sound like a dolphin? You stick your finger in her butt and she goes, "Eh, eh, eh, eh." I wonder how high of notes Mariah Carey can hit if you give her a little.
Can she still hit him too?
Yeah. That's how she gets there. She puts the butt plug in. That's how she gets the high notes.
All I want for Christmas is get the butt plug in.
Is poo. Did you ever buy any AO rated games? Remember that rating? The E ESRB had AO,
No, I
adults
never-
only.
no.
It's like Night Trap or something.
Yeah, there weren't very many of them. And then the British version was Peggy 18.
What was the weird Nintendo one? There was like some weird, not rated that, but there was like a sexual Nintendo
The,
cartridge.
the pink guy that sucks everything, Kirby.
No, I know what you're talking about. No, it was actually like an adult game.
It's probably like
For
one of those
N64?
unauthorized games or whatever.
Yeah, they don't play that shit.
Well, the only reason I know about it is you remember how you used to like chip Xboxes back in the
Yeah,
day
yeah.
to get like every Nintendo game. I'm flipping through it and it's like it was some weird Japanese shit, obviously.
Yeah.
Like,
They have that. The Switch has a bunch of hentai, dating, Sims, big titty, goth, dumb, whatever, dating sim games.
it's
How was the Iron
shocking.
Claw, Donnie? Did you like it?
Yeah, sorry, I'm searching for it, but it's going to require a much more verbose search to find it. It sounds like
A
an
friend
NES
told me
whatever.
about these hentai games. I need to do some
yeah.
research.
That-
I've never
Townsend.
seen them.
That and Turkish oil wrestling are in my freaking algorithm now. So yeah, have you seen the trailers for this movie, The Iron Claw?
Is it a move they do?
Yeah,
They claw
it's their
someone?
move,
Okay.
the Von Erich move. So
Yeah,
do you know wrestling at all? Or did you grow up watching wrestling?
So I mean, I did, but I feel like I've pushed all of that
Yeah.
out. Like, I mean, I obviously I loved watching like WWF, Hulk
Yeah.
Hogan, and
Yeah.
Andre the Giant, and Jesse Ventura, and all that shit. But like, I can't remember any of the
Yeah,
specifics.
any
of it.
specific, especially the ones that aren't the major ones or the ones that everybody knows now. So
Superfly Jimmy Snuka, is that a thing? Like
Yeah,
now it's like
that's
starting
me,
to,
Hacksaw, Jim
Yeah.
Duggan,
yeah.
the Junkyard Dog.
Junkyard Dog,
So
yeah.
the Iron Claw is a movie. It's an A24 movie. It's starring Zac Efron and Jeremy Allen White, the guy from The Bear
Yeah.
and Shameless and all
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
And they play the Von Erich family. And so they're from like the Dallas area. They were a family of wrestlers. The dad was a wrestler, and then he got all his kids to be wrestlers. And of course, it was one of those very controlling, strict father or whatever.
Yeah, they give it all in the way in
Yeah.
the trailer. They show the dad going, "You're going to be my favorite son if you win."
Yeah, it's like he has a ranking
And
of
then
all
one
his
of them-
sons, and it's what's funny is in the movie there's 4 of them, but in real life there was 5 of them, and all of them except one died. There's one that's still alive. So the movie is
Spoiler alert.
basically so the movie is basically watch God torture Zac Efron for
Yeah.
2 hours.
Oh, yeah.
But it was good. I would say I give it a solid B. Like it is one of those like biopic tragedy kind of
Is that
standard ones or whatever. Zac Efron actually does a pretty good job,
Okay.
and at the end, especially at the end, whenever he's really dealing with all the shit that happens, because
He's good at acting like a jacked dude.
yeah,
Is it in the theater?
yeah, it's in the theaters.
Is it worth going to the theater? To see?
Yeah, if you want like maybe a sad date night movie.
Sad date night.
Don't want
Yeah.
to get a hand job in the
Yeah.
theater.
Yeah.
If you don't want the Iron Claw in your pants,
But I went and saw it with my dad. My dad is like his 2 things that I'm nerdy with YouTube stuff, like old retro video games and all that. But for him, it's wrestling and football. So he's all about the Von Erich story and all that. Ric Flair shows up in it. This is like the early 80s through the early 90s is when the Von Erichs were like really wrestling in their own little region. And then Kerry Von Erich moved into WWF. So he was wrestling all those guys in the 90s before he killed himself. And so my dad was mad that none of the actors looked like the actual wrestlers. And I was like, I'm pretty sure they're not trying to go for like they need to look exactly the same.
Kind of realism.
I think they're
yeah.
more for the acting abilities
Right.
of like, because like Jeremy Allen White's 5'8", in real life Kerry Von Erich was like 6'4", and I mean he's pretty ripped in the movie,
Yeah.
but like he's nowhere near as big and like wrestlery as he looked. Zac Efron looked great. Zac Efron definitely looked like a wrestler in that movie.
would you say it's a good movie?
It's a good movie. I said it's a solid B in my opinion.
Okay.
It's if you want to go see a dramatic movie, sad movie, that they're trying to get probably Oscar nominations for. Yeah, go see it.
I saw a criticism of a video game recently in the review. They said the characters weren't memorable. I was like, well, that's your fault if you don't
Yeah,
remember
you
the
don't remember.
characters.
It's personal.
Yeah, you should have remembered better, dummy.
Yeah.
That's what George Lucas is. He's always fighting the fans and people saying that his stories suck. So he might make a comeback if they make our dream Star Wars open world choose your own adventure
Yeah.
project.
Yeah.
If he does the writing on it and you don't like the story, he can just go, well, you chose all the choices, so it's your fault for making it suck. It's not my fault.
You know, it's not lost on me that we've now spoilered the Iron
Claw, yeah.
the Iron Claw and the Leftovers.
And the Leftovers,
Like,
yeah.
We did a Killers of the Flower Moon spoiler, but it's The Iron Claw and the Killers of Flower Moon all happened already. You can go to Wikipedia. It's
Yeah, you
history.
can just
can't spoil it.
read the book. Yeah.
Sorry for telling you a thing that happened.
In history.
That's another women argument thing that they hate. How dare you say a thing that I said again
Oh yeah.
later? I didn't never wanted to be reminded of that.
Yeah.
Donnie, I got you a Christmas present. We got to take a break. I got to go grab it.
Okay, good.
Speaking of characters that aren't memorable,
Yeah.